Go ahead, put it on real tight. Hope you brought your best tonight. They say they got the fireworks, yeah, they say they got the show. Here around the chutes, you're the best, so let's go.
This is Texas Toast. I'm your host, Miss Helen. Kick back and enjoy as we toast the best from Texas.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Texas on Tap. I'm Miss Helen along with producer Kyle. And man, the music is just, we're going to talk about some Texas music coming up. Like, there's so much that I ran across this week. Like, my head was spinning, my eyeballs were going crossed.
I feel like it's just like how every year seems to go by faster. It's also every year the music just gets better and better. It's kind of crazy.
And I have got to get educated. I mean, like, just the three songs that I'm going to talk about today, these are all new people on my radar and list that have released to radio. And not only that, but as I was looking at the charts and studying them this week, seeing like the most ads, it's like a lot of homework.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I guess let's jump into it. I'll let you get started with your new names, and then I'll follow you up with some more familiar names.
Okay, I'm going to start off with the song. It's actually a husband-wife duo. This is a crazy good song.
I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yes, it's called Kerosene Drifters. The name of the song is Redemption. Y'all, you've got to take a listen to it. Kerosene Drifters, Redemption. They busted up into the top 100 on the Texas Regional Radio Report. And awesome. They are just, I mean, I don't even know how to describe, except it's just crazy good music and their harmonies. And it's just something fresh, something different, something that caught my ear out of all the music that I listened to. And there's a lot of new people, a lot of new music coming out. They were just so strong that I had to include them with our wrap today. So Kerosene Drifters, Redemption.
Yeah, I thought, well, it's funny. Right whenever it came on, I heard Charlie Daniels vibes. You know, it's got that like quick kind of picking thing. But then as I listened more and more, I got sucked into the guitar. It's got that awesome guitar solo in there. And
oh my gosh, their instruments,
it's like
crazy.
The whoever's playing guitar must have been a metalhead at some point. Like, I think you could kind of tell. It was almost like Tenacious D vibes, but in a good way. So I really like that song too. And anybody who's into heavier stuff will probably enjoy it.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, they have something different going on. Another one I want to look at is Luke Laprade. I hope I'm saying that right. He's an East Texas boy. Keep your eye on him. He has a new single that's been released to radio called Your Johnny. And once again, he had a high debut. It's a laid back song with fun lyrics, easy on the ears, but I just love the twist on the lyrics. But it's Luke Laprade, Your Johnny, and he's had some momentum this week on the new charts.
Yeah, he's got like a super country voice in I guess like a modern twist on the music, you could say. They use that banjo in like a super unusual way, and it was really interesting. I enjoyed it a lot.
And I feel like anybody that's listening to this podcast, if you're from East Texas, he's been tearing it up there. So y'all already know who he is. That's y'all's boy. Okay, we're going to open the tap room for this one. I'm so excited about this artist. And my fellow DJs out there, I feel so sorry for y'all having to intro Chris Crisp. I mean, say Chris Crisp 3 times, but seriously, we're opening the tap room for an amazing song. Take a listen to Chris Crisp and Rearview. All right, close that tap room door. How about that? Chris Crisp and Rearview. And I did notice that he's been playing a lot of shows down your way at Do-Si-Do. He had one with Chad, with our friends, Peyton Howie. He was with her in November, Chad Cook. Yeah, so I'm super excited about Chris. I thought that was a good, strong song. I love his sound. Yeah. And I'm looking forward to, we're going to have to get him on the podcast.
Absolutely. Is he a fairly new artist? Like that wasn't his first single, is it?
Yes, I believe so.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yes. This is like straight out the chute.
Dang. Yeah. Good stuff. That's cool. I never would have guessed that. Okay. Let's do some, like I said, some more familiar names. We're going to hop back into the tap room and keep this party going. I wanted to share the new song, Meet Me in Texas by our friends Palmer Anthony and Graycie York.
Wow, what a song in the tap room. Meet Me in Texas, Palmer Anthony and Graycie York. Their harmony, that song is strong. That is an awesome song. Way to go.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, like I said, we've talked about them both before, and they're both like probably two of the, you know, most on the rise young artists in Texas. So that's a awesome pair. It was so exciting to see them, you know, promoting. And I guess whenever I noticed that they were putting out the song together, I got really excited and was not let down at all. It's just gotta love a country duo. The production was beautiful. That minor section where it gets kind of dark in the second half of the chorus, I guess for music nerds out there, just like packs a punch, and it just hit me in my soul, and it felt so good.
Yeah, it's an awesome song. It's like when you hear songs like that, like saying that you were excited, that just nails it, because it's a very exciting to hear music like that.
Big news for sure from them too. And like I said, they're both on the rise. They're doing all kinds of stuff individually, and it's cool to see them team up. And I honestly would not be surprised if this is the highest debut next week, because that song just dropped today. So go stream that on Spotify and help them, get those numbers up a little bit if you're not already.
Yeah. And Palmer's been working hard for the last 2 years. I've been seeing his name, and he's been almost getting there. Oh, yeah. And this one's it. That's good stuff.
Absolutely. Yep. He's been, playing all those awesome opening shows and doing his own headliners and stuff around town, just like Graycie, or not around town, around the state, like Graycie. So
yes,
very cool. And then another one that we've talked about before, he put out a new awesome song, and it's called Outlaw Angel. And it's so nice to hear this edgier side of Mr. Joey Greer. Joey just put out a brand new song called Outlaw Angel, and it was the highest debut on streaming this week, which is so cool for him. So happy for that guy. Like I said, it's a rocking song. It's way more in your face. I don't know. It was just so pleasing to hear this come out of Joey, because he's, at least for me, I've known him as like the pretty acoustic soft, I have never seen him live, so I'm sure he puts on a pretty awesome show, but now I'm even more motivated to get out and see him. And speaking of seeing him, just a little funny story I wanted to throw in there. I played at Do-Si-Do last Thursday, and somebody that we had talked about on the podcast a couple weeks before, named Cooper Mormon, was standing side stage right when I finished playing, and he was like, "Hey Kyle, what's up, dude?" And he was like, "When's Joey go on?" I was like, "Joey, Joey's not playing here." And then we like thought about it, and then realized Joey Greer was playing at the other Do-Si-Do down the road that night. So
it's hilarious.
It was just kind of funny coincidence. I got to meet Cooper, who we had just talked about. I realized he's from Houston, so maybe we can get him on the show here soon. Or if anything, maybe, I'll get to go out and see him play a show. And then he got to see the first Kyle Garrett show, and then got to jump on down the road and see Joey Greer. So
I love it.
Must have been a great night for him.
Well, and I just want to say that I loved everything about that song, and then especially the line with the red dirt on the tip of her wings. I mean, it's like, it's just so like, just pulls you in. Now I liked everything about it.
Yep. Just bringing all the elements of his pretty songwriting in, and then just bringing the distorted guitars to it. And it was a nice little pairing. And speaking of pretty songwriting, the last song that I picked this week is a new one. I guess it was released the last week of 2021, but this is one of the most well-known songwriters in Texas, has cuts by so many people. And this is just a nice, pretty songwriter song, and it's called I Will Find You by Walt Wilkins, and I believe he had a group called Tip Jar on the song with him as well. So not sure who Tip Jar is. I guess I probably should have looked into that. But I definitely heard some background vocals and stuff, or maybe that's the band that was playing with him on the track. This song was also the biggest jumper on the streaming chart this week, so definitely needed to give our guy Wilt a little shout out, because he's like a historical figure almost at this point in Texas.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, like heritage, and like one of my heroes in music. And I enjoyed listening to that, of course, over and over and over. So good picks there. Now I want to jump into the charts.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. I'm just gonna go through this, y'all, and you're gonna see what's going on. So I'm gonna start with the Texas Country Music Chart.com. Okay, so new and on the chart debuting this week. Okay, we had already talked about Tanner Sparks lighting up an old flame. I mean, boom! It debuted this week at 52. Then Matt Castillo, he debuted high as well. And then Chris Crisp, the Ransom Brothers, Why Does It Rain? We talked about that. Now we're going to get into some new names and some familiar names. Tori Martin, Lucky, Savannah Chestnut, My First Rodeo. I did preview that song. I absolutely loved it. And our friend Nate Burnham, He had a high debut this week as well.
Nice.
Billy Joe, Redneck, Jared Johnson, Day to Day, Houston Bernard, American Dream, and then of course Luke Laprade, the one I chose for this week, You're Johnny.
Right.
They all like just busted onto the charts. Now our heavy
Nice.
hitters with the greatest spin increase on this chart, we talked about this song, Jason Bullen and the Stragglers, which I'm a huge fan of, and I love this song, The Light Saw Me. Wade Bowen with his latest, When Love Comes Around, Randy Rogers Band, Picture Frame, and then Casey Donahue, Built Different. So they all had the greatest spin increase and made some big moves. And all of those songs we've talked about here on Texas on Tap. And then, of course, falling under the most added, Kyle Park is tearing it up with What You're Drinking song. Teague Brothers, Found Trouble, great song. And then Colleen Michelle Miller. I actually listened to this song. It's called Amarillo Rain. And I think I wanted to do like 5 songs today, but I know we're limited. She's another one that caught my attention. Colleen Michelle Miller with Amarillo Rain. Great song right there.
Very
and
cool.
then we've got some other ones that I've listened to. And of course, we talked about Bubba T, East Texas Red Dirt. He's bubbling under just below the top 100 on that particular chart. So that's just exciting stuff. And I'm enjoying like when I have my opportunity to have some quiet time. But I forgot to go look at the top 5 on that chart. I just get so excited about the new stuff.
Yep.
And so this is the Texas Country Music Chart. Number 1 this week is Aaron Watson's Crash Landing. Josh Ward is at number 2 with Lovin' Where It's Going. Randy Rogers at 3 with Picture Frame. Mike Ryan's at 4, Jacket On. I am hearing that song everywhere.
Yep.
Of course, we talked about that months ago. And then rounding out the top 5 is Jason Bullen and the Stragglers with The Light Saw Me. It's just such good music. It's so exciting. CD Extraction Texas for this week just released their numbers. Aaron Watson's Crash Landing is number 1. Randy Rogers Band, Picture Frames at 2. Cody Johnson went from number 6 to number 3 with Till You Can't. Randall King's record high is at 4, and Josh Ward, Lovin' Where It's Going, rounds out the top 5 on CD Extraction Texas. And on the Texas Regional Radio Report, congrats to our dear friend Curtis Grimes.
Nice.
Number 1 is Noah Built a Boat. You know,
Good
we
deal.
talked about that when it first came out. I think that's about the time we had him on the podcast.
That's 13 or 14 ones for him now.
Yes.
Man.
Number 2. I'm sorry, y'all. Number 2 this week is record high, Randall King. James Land, way to go, James. Number 3 with Damn Straight.
Oh, wow.
Number 4 is Aaron Watson's Crash Landing. And then number 5 is Into Outlaw from Daryl Dodd. So that rounds out the top 5, but there's just so much to look at. I mean, I know we look at the top 5, but there's just so much going on, so much good music, and so many people that we've had on the podcast, seeing their success, especially even the ones not our guest on the podcast, but songs and singles that we've highlighted here on Texas on Tap.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah. I mean, there's so many artists that we've talked about so many times without having them on the show. It seems like we've interviewed them a couple times.
I know. I feel like I know them already, but
Yeah.
busy. But I'm excited about the stuff that we went over. So I encourage everybody to dig in and do some research and like I said.
If you need to go back and listen to all that stuff she just threw at you guys, there's this really cool tool on the Apple Podcast thing where you can slow it down. So just go back and slow it down to half speed and then pull out your pen and paper and write down the songs that sound interesting.
And I actually have a friend that does that.
That's the way to do it.
Yes,
My grandma probably does that. I know she listens.
Oh, hi, Grandma.
Oh, she's gonna be excited about that.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay, so what else? So you had your big show. I was like Friday. I was texting Kyle. Let me know how it goes. I know you're gonna do great. You looked awesome.
No, it went great. I had a lot of fun. There was a lot of people there, and I felt very comfortable at that stage. I mean, I'm sure a bunch of people listening have been there or played that stage, and it's very intimidating from the audience. But something about it, once you're up there on the stage, even by yourself, it's like really comforting. Like I told you the other day, but it almost felt like I was just like sitting in a room with my friends, playing some songs, even though there was, a couple hundred people there watching.
Yes.
It was great. Went really well. Now I just need to get a couple more on the books and go make a record.
I know, and you're in the process. I'm so excited about that too. So way to go, Kyle.
Yeah. So our weekly weather report, it's looking pretty gross outside right now. And so I'm supposed to have a show for my other band this Saturday. And I mean, as far as I know, it's still going to happen, but it's an outdoor show. And
well, dress warm.
Yeah, it's going to be cold. We might have to go rent some space heaters or something, but that's gonna be funny. I guess if shameless plug, if anybody wants to come get their little emo kit out in Cypress area, we're playing with a Blink-182 cover band. It's a friend of ours' birthday party, but it's at a brewery out in Cypress. So free show.
Brewery. There you go. Brewery and great music.
If you like beer and throwback rock pop punk music, then Misfit Outpost in Cypress is where to be Saturday. Oh, and Friday, Stampede in Houston. Bree Bagwell is going to be playing, and I'm going to be there. And Paul's going to be playing with her, so that'll be a lot of fun. I don't know who's opening, but I'm sure it'll be somebody awesome.
Well, and then, I don't want to bring things down, but we have family coming in because we have a memorial service for a family member. But if you're in the Schrader Dance Hall area, John Stork's there tonight, and then David Adam Burns on Saturday. And I would
I forgot it was Friday.
I so would have been there, but but this is important, or it's like one of those things. But anyway,
we'll catch him soon.
So that's why I've been like, I'm a mess. I got on the podcast with Kyle. I'm like, don't even look at me. I'm a mess. I've been purging clothes because it's like I was starting to get everything cleaned up for family coming in, and you find something, then you find something else to do. Then I'm over here, I'm over there. I'm like ADHD when I clean. Like I'll start something and then I'll see something else and then I'm over there. But anyway, it's that it needed to be done. It needed to be done. I've been procrastinating, but I will have some downtime with some offshore fishing.
Nice.
So anyway,
that's gonna be awesome. I'm jealous. It's gonna be cold out there though, huh? I bet it gets really chilly out there.
I know how to dress. I got my little system. I have my little hacks that work out good because then coming in it'll be warming up.
Yeah.
But
okay.
Anyway, so what else have we had going on? We had a great guest with a great podcast coming up this next week.
Yes, we did. Yeah. I mean, we could tell them about that. So we had a guest scheduled and something ended up coming up for him. So we ended up getting one of my recent favorites on very last minute, thanks to the best person in the world, Jen.
We love you, Jen.
Yeah, we love you, Jen. Thank you for everything. But so Jesse Daniel joined us, and it was a really awesome conversation. We got to talk about, his move. It's funny. That's kind of been a consistent trend lately, like these artists who have found homes in Texas. So it's kind of cool that we're getting to, put those stories on the spotlight.
Yeah. And he just has such a super sweet soul and spirit to him. And not to mention, because before all this happened, I had previewed his new single, and we'll discuss all that during the podcast, but it was like just to have him on the podcast and be able to visit with him. He's y'all are going to love him.
He's the guy. He's like one of those mysterious, like, what you got going inside of you, buddy, kind of guys.
Yeah, I know. And he's so down to earth. And he was just such a pleasant guest to have. And I'm so glad that we got to know him.
Oh yeah.
So we want everybody else to get to know him also.
Definitely check that out, and check out Peyton Howie from this last week if you haven't already. That was a really good interview with another California transplant who's, kind of found her home. It seems like she's got her wings spread pretty far though, going, I think she spends most of her time in Nashville, but then she's here in Texas playing shows in California. So really cool stuff from her. And Peyton's got a new song coming out a week from today, Country Before Me, which we mentioned in that podcast. So go check that out if you haven't.
That's a big deal on that particular
the story behind it.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's going to hit really hard in Texas. So fingers crossed for her on the charts. And I guess that's it. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I'm not going to give you all the whole spiel this week, but the number one podcast in Texas. Tell your friends.
I love it. Well, good stuff coming up, and y'all just keep up with the music, and we'll keep up for you. But don't be surprised next week if I don't want to roll up in here with like 5 songs, because
we'll extend it.
I really almost was like, there's just so much to talk about. So
I think
anyway,
listeners, tell us if you'd like to listen to a 2-hour podcast of us talking about new Texas country music every week. We'll see. I'm down. Yeah.
That
sorry,
would that would be a crazy train with me. Poor
Yeah.
things.
Oh man, imagine the editing on that too. That'd be so much fun.
Yeah, imagine that. Especially when it's cocktail time. Oops.
Oh yeah. Well, or I just won't edit it, and they'll get the uncut version every week.
Yeah, and
That sounds good.
that's funny. Speaking of that, I think about the prior visits and the after visits that we have with our artists.
Mm-hmm.
Those are always a lot of fun. I mean, because that's when this stuff comes out of my mouth, and it's
I think we should.
all funny. It's all funny.
Oh yeah, and people would love to listen to that behind the scenes stuff too. That was a good little segue there. You queued it up. Maybe I'll have to start a Patreon. Maybe we'll have to start a little thing to where people can go and give us $1 a month or something to hear all the behind the scenes content.
I'm telling you, it would be quite entertaining.
I think so. That could be fun. Okay,
Yes.
well, let's wrap it up. It's almost crawfish season. That's very exciting.
Oh yeah.
Almost. I guess it is technically season, but yeah, you gotta wait a little while.
I mean, I'm already seeing where some places are serving crawfish, and of course, I did have some crawfish in Huntsville.
You can always get it. It's just it's one of those things.
And it was good, but yeah, crawfish. Oh my gosh, I'm so ready. So ready.
Me too. All right, well, let's end it up this week the same way we did last week with our new young artist spotlight. We had a very young dude named Hayden Hilliard reach out to us on Instagram this week and shared his song that he released last year on Spotify and streaming and stuff. And I believe Hayden's in high school, so I heard the song and I was just like, man, this is really good, dude. Like, I mean,
for him to be in high school and to reach out to us, and
taking the initiative, exactly.
Yeah, we're definitely going to support that kind of drive. And
totally, just reminded me of me in high school, and I don't know, I kind of connected to it. So, let's say cheers, and ended up in the show with "Indian Woman" by Hayden Hilliard.
Cheers.
She knew where I was from as she left. I dare to say, well, you can go to hell. Hell, I'll go to Texas. I've had my fill of every place but home.